So Unreal Engine 6 was unveiled and teased in Unreal Engine Fest in Chicago recently, and I just thought to go through and talk a bit about some of the changes coming with Unreal Engine 6 and a bit about why that might be good for you, why it might be bad for you, and also to sort of explain why continuing watching my tutorials will be beneficial for you. So one of the biggest things that was announced was that blueprints will be deprecated and removed eventually in Unreal Engine 6. It's going to be in the release of Unreal Engine 6, but eventually just phased out, deprecated, and removed. So a lot of people are mad about this because people with dyslexia, for instance, found that the blueprint nodes were really useful for them. And there's been a lot of talk about AI and how Epic Games is sort of pushing you to use AI to make your games and stuff. So I get the frustration and I understand why people are mad. I myself, who have been using Unreal Engine for over 11 years now, find this change to be a bit strange. I'm not really happy about it, but I do understand sort of where they're coming from. They have no plans of adding any visual blueprint scripting interface. There is a chat with them on Twitter where that was mentioned. Basically, the idea is to use Verse, and Verse is the one system that is being used in Fortnite at the moment. And they're going to expand upon that and make it the main sort of scripting language that's going to be used instead of blueprints. I know for a fact that people will be making a visual blueprint interface. If not Epic, someone else will make it. There's going to be some kind of visual interface one way or another. And also Unreal Engine is going to be released by the end of 2027 in an early access state, and then fully released in about 12 to 18 months after that. So the likelihood of seeing Unreal Engine being released soon is not going to happen. It's way in the future. I would say we have 3 or 4 years with Unreal Engine 5 until 6 is being released. And a lot of people are going to be worrying, well, what about all the plugins and tools that were made with blueprints in Unreal Engine? And what about my game? If I want to switch to Unreal Engine 6, what's that going to do for my game? So the main thing about blueprints being removed is that they're going to add some tools to allow you to convert your blueprints into Verse. So that is, of course, going to be very useful and save you the trouble of having to convert everything by hand and like rewriting everything. And of course, people are then wondering, well, what about the plugins and other tools that I bought and made? Unfortunately, I can't tell you much about that. If you buy stuff from me, I will be converting it to Verse and the other systems in Unreal Engine 6. But it's up to the developers by themselves to convert your plugins and the existing code and stuff you bought. So it's very unfortunate, and I think it's a very strange step to go in to do that. And if we want to go in and talk a bit more about the reasoning behind this, before they even released Unreal Engine 6, I always knew that they're going to push for AI stuff, and they're going to be pushing for AI tools to be big parts of your development. A lot of people hate that. I myself have a lot of mixed feelings about it because I make video games, I make content because I think it's fun. I enjoy the process. I don't like to watch AI make stuff for me. That's not fun at all. So people have mixed feelings about this, and I myself understand why people are somewhat excited about this too. A lot of new developers think AI is awesome and that it can make all these cool things for you and it speeds up the process. In the end, AI is not going to be able to make, at least for a bunch more years, AI is not going to be able to make a good game for you. It is up to the developer, and I'm going to go in and talk a bit more about that as well later on. So the reason for why they want to be using Verse instead of blueprints is because of accessibility. It makes the code run better, is one thing. They think the scripting language and system that they have implemented is going to be more beneficial for replication, which is basically multiplayer, and you can do more stuff with it, more so than with blueprints. I also believe that the tutorials I'm posting at the moment, some of them are talking about blueprints, especially this month. I'm spending a lot of time going through and talking about blueprints. Now, blueprints is going to be existing for at least 4 years, I would say. And if you're working on a game, the likelihood of you releasing a game before 4 years passes is rather high. So it's still going to be beneficial. And what I'm also trying to teach in my tutorials is the core concepts of why we're doing different things. So even though Unreal Engine is going to be removing blueprints eventually, the core concept behind variables and how to use functions, macros, bindings, and all of these other core systems and fundamentals that exist within coding are still going to be beneficial. So if you do know blueprints, you are going to be able to code way easier in Verse whenever that's going to be released. And also, if you don't want to use Verse, you can still use blueprints in Unreal Engine 6. It's still going to be there for a while. And it's also going to remain in Unreal Engine 5, of course. And you can still continue using that engine if you want to. Of course, there are much more details and information that they share, so I recommend going through online and looking up all of that information. But to sort of recap, watching my tutorials are still going to be beneficial for you. The core concepts will still remain. Verse is taking over. Blueprints are being removed eventually in Unreal Engine 6. It's about 4 years ahead. Epic is pushing you to use AI. You don't have to use AI. You can turn off all of that if you want to. And I personally don't think AI is the way to go when making video games. You can use it as a tool, but don't prompt it to do everything for you in the game. It's just going to be awful. And it's not going to be a good experience for anyone. I hope this information was helpful to you, and if it was, I will be talking more about this stuff in the future, so make sure to follow the channel and I'll keep you up to date. Alright, I'll see you in a few hours with my tutorial, and have a good one.